What if one day you wake up, check your phone, and see headlines saying thousands of immigrants are being ordered to leave the United States? Not criminals. Not fugitives. But ordinary workers, students, and families. With Donald Trump openly promising the largest deportation operation in U.S. history if he returns to power in 2026, one question is making millions nervous. Which countries could be affected first? Today, we break down 7 Asian countries that experts say could be most impacted, based on visa overstays, undocumented population data, past policy patterns, and political messaging. This is analysis, not accusations. And this affects real human lives. Let's begin. Country 1: Asia. When people hear mass deportation, they often think only of Latin America. But here's the reality. Asia is one of the fastest growing sources of undocumented immigrants. Many entered legally and overstayed. Visas enforcement priorities often focus on overstay data, not border crossings. That's why Asia is quietly, but seriously, part of this conversation. Country 1: India. India. Let's start with India. India has one of the largest undocumented Asian populations in the USA. High number of visa overstays, especially from student visas. Many Indian immigrants are tech workers, healthcare professionals, small business owners, but under a strict enforcement model. Visa overstays become priority targets. Legal entry does not guarantee protection. This is why immigration attorneys often mention India first in risk assessments. Country 2: China. China. Next is China. China has long been on the radar due to large overstayed visa population, rising political tension between Washington and Beijing. Past policies already increased visa scrutiny, student monitoring, deportation proceedings for status violations in a hardline 2026 approach. National security rhetoric may influence enforcement. Students and researchers could face extra checks. This makes Chinese nationals especially vulnerable. Country 3: Philippines. Philippines. Now let's talk about Philippines. Many Filipinos came to the U.S. through family-based visas, healthcare recruitment, temporary work permits. However, the Philippines consistently ranks high in visa overstay reports. Many overstays are long-term, making legalization difficult. Even though Filipino immigrants are deeply integrated into U.S. society, strict deportation policy often ignores community impact. That's why this country frequently appears on enforcement lists. Country 4: Vietnam. Next is Vietnam. Vietnam is unique because many immigrants arrived as refugees decades ago. Some never adjusted their legal status fully in the past. Deportation agreements between the U.S. and Vietnam expanded. Individuals with old legal issues were suddenly targeted if mass deportation resumes. Old cases may be reopened. Long-settled families could be affected. This makes Vietnam a quiet but serious concern. Country 5: Pakistan. Now to Pakistan. Pakistan often appears in immigration discussions due to visa overstay statistics, past inclusion in travel restrictions even without new bans, enhanced vetting, faster deportation proceedings could significantly impact Pakistani nationals. The concern here isn't numbers alone, but policy perception. Country 6: Bangladesh. Next is Bangladesh. Bangladeshi immigrants often work in construction, restaurants, small businesses. Challenges include limited access to legal pathways, high overstay percentages, low approval rates for asylum renewals in large deportation efforts. People with weak documentation are usually first targeted. Legal defense options are limited. This puts Bangladesh on many analysts' watch lists. Country 7: Nepal. Finally, Nepal. Nepalese nationals often entered under temporary protected status, TPS, student visas if protections expire or are not renewed. Thousands could instantly become deportable. Many have lived in the U.S. for over a decade. TPS-related cases are often high risk during policy changes. Mid-video engagement break. If you or someone you know is from any of these countries, this conversation matters. Comment your country below now. Let's talk about the bigger picture. What deportation priorities usually look like. Historically, large deportation drives focus on visa overstays, expired temporary protections, failed asylum cases, people with minor past legal issues, not always criminals. Often just paperwork problems. That's what makes this issue so serious. Let's be clear. No official deportation list exists. Policy decisions can change. Courts, states, and public pressure matter. This video is analysis based on past patterns, not fear-based predictions. Closing, emotional but responsible. Immigration isn't just about borders. It's about families' dreams, workers who keep systems running, students chasing education as 2026 approaches. Staying informed is power. Not panic. Not rumors. Just facts and awareness. Final line, strong CTA. If you want a follow-up video on how to protect your status, legal options, people forget which visas are safest.